And Mine Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. And the title of the video is Quant Price Prediction by the end of 2024. Please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further videos, and hit that like button for me. You'd be doing me a massive favor with regards to the YouTube algorithms. And please remember, I am not a financial advisor and none of this is financial advice. And none of the information provided in this video should ever be seen as a signal to buy or to sell. But first and foremost, we look at these crypto bubbles. Wow, is it red today? There's a few in there, but it's absolutely Red Sea. But as you know, it does not bother me. I look at the long-term picture and the things that are likely to play out in the future. Now, as we can see, we're down one rank to 56 with a market cap of $1.32 billion and a quant price of $109. And the current 24-hour volume is $15 million, which is quite low. And as we've seen in the last day, we're down 5.6% in the day and down 7.9% in a week. There will be some moon boys out there that aren't happy because they want the prices to move up quicker than quant actually wants to move up. It's patience, and that's all I look at is patience long term. People absolutely hate it when I say that, but that's the way I play it. So let's look at crypto quant, and as we can see, as usual, just going sideways. But the exchange reserve value at the moment is down to 1.389 million. It's literally just going sideways with regards to the reserve. I think eventually we'll see those reserves just drop and keep moving downwards. So now let's just talk about what the price prediction will be for 2024. Now, I posted this yesterday and I said, the more I research, the more I see. For me, Gilbert either has the intellectual foresight of a savant or he knows. And in my humble opinion, he's both. Now, that wasn't me trying to get up his backside. This is just because many of the things that I've seen, much of what Gilbert has voiced in videos, in comments, have pretty much come true. His predictions and how the market will develop has pretty much come to some form of truth. Whether or not Twitter use Overledger, we don't know, but we can only ever speculate. But as I've said before, but as we've seen, Gilbert Verdian has actually predicted how the X platform or Twitter at the time would actually play out. And he's predicted many, many other things. And that brings me to predictions. Because predictions are based on assumptions, based on the environment, based on the tech, based on the team, everything that we look at as a whole with regards to this particular project. Many will do the same with other projects because I don't just hold quant. A lot of people seem to think because I dedicate all my time with regards to quant. The only reason I do that is because I really believe they are the best in this particular space. Reason being is because I've done all my research. I'm not just talking the crypto space. Talking about the interoperability space, I believe they've solved it. And people always say, well, they weren't at Davos, they weren't here, weren't there. Why? Because they've already solved what they need to solve. Why would you turn up to something? There's, this is not meant for us. This is not meant for retail. This is an institutional coin. That's what I believe. That's my personal opinion. So I saw this the other day from CryptoQ. And I've done many of these type of videos before. And I thought this was a good up-to-date one. So he says here, guess the quant price in USD by the end of 2024. Comment, retweet, like. And if you haven't, please go over, have a look. I may leave a link to this in the description so that you can go and vote as well. Because I may do an update version of this video some point in February. Because the actual participation date is until the 31st of the 1st, 2024. I think there's a prize involved, but he said the winner will be announced. Good luck with your prices. So if you go down, everybody has placed their price for the end of the year and they're being enlisted. So if you do, put a firm price down and he'll enlist that, and then we'll see the end results at the end of the month. So as you can see, loads and loads and loads and loads of what people think. You can see you've got 770 here, we've got 1240, we've got 224. We've got some lower ones. We've got people saying 130, we've got people saying 40. But that's all well and good. But what we're really interested in is this. Now, this I thought was really good. A good description, an analogy of what the wisdom of crowds and what counting jelly beans means for investing. Now, I've had a few arguments in the past with people on YT because they say that it's absolutely rubbish. I actually believe in this theory because I have actually done a way bigger test than this in a previous life within psychology. And we had something like 10,000 respondents. And I thought this was a great explanation. So just bear with me and we'll get down to the nitty gritty, the good stuff in a moment. He says here, if you ask someone to guess how many jelly beans are in a jar, most of the time their guess isn't very accurate. But if you ask a large group of people to guess the number of jelly beans, their average answer is surprisingly accurate. This phenomenon is called the wisdom of crowd, which basically means the collective guess is almost always better than anyone's individual guess. Most of you probably find this to be obvious, and of course, the crowd's average guess will be better. You are leveraging the collective wisdom of many people. Why wouldn't they be better and more consistent than any single person? If you understand the jelly bean example, you're on your way to better understanding the stock market. Stock prices are set by two simultaneous transactions, a buy and a sell. Generally, buyers think that the stock price is going up, up, up. Sellers think the stock price is going down and down. Both buyers and sellers have access to the exact same information, but they are each making their guess at what will come next. Multiply this transaction 1,000,000 times across 1,000,000 buyers and sellers, and pretty quickly both buyers and sellers start to agree on a fair price. So this is a fair value. This is exactly the same as the jelly bean example. Some investors will lose and some will win, but average out the crowd's bets and you will almost certainly get closer to the truth than any single investor's guess. This is the wisdom of crowd. All investors looking at the same market information and stock prices, just as the jelly bean counter are looking at the same jar of jelly beans. The current price of any stock has been set by the collective wisdom of crowd. If the crowd looks at the market and starts to feel that the prices are too low, they will buy up shares until the price reaches the point where the crowd doesn't feel that way anymore, and vice versa. Now, the strange part is that most of us would probably bet on the crowd's answer for counting jelly beans rather than on our own guess. But when it comes to investing, a significant number of investors suddenly seem to think they know better than the crowd. They pick individual stocks that they believe are undervalued, even though their current price has already been determined by many others to be fair. They go bearish based on news articles that everyone else has already seen, assuming that they alone are smart enough to know that the market has not efficiently priced that news in. They overweight their positions with different sectors, even buying options to leverage up their personal convictions, all because they believe the crowd has guessed wrong. But if you believe in the collective of wisdom, there is no reason to assume that you will outperform the crowd through anything other than blind luck. He says here, I hope that you will keep this analogy in mind next time you're trying to predict what is coming next in the market, especially if you are bearish, since the overall trend of the market is always up in the long term. This is why I'm a long-term holder. Nobody knows for certain what will happen, but the crowd has done their very best to price stocks at a level where the probability of it going down or up is roughly equal. To go against this is to bet against the crowd, something that I don't think is wise in the long run. My recommendation is to go with the collective wisdom of the crowd and DCA into broad market index funds. Now, that's interesting. Now, obviously, I've looked into this, I've studied it as much as I possibly can over the years, and I agree. And the result is DCA. DCA works, and I think most of you will agree with that. Now, if we go back to here, we can see lots and lots and lots of numbers that people have put in. And that's the wisdom of the crowd. That's the collective. And I see this very similar with some of the Fibonacci sequences as well. And looking at TA, because everybody's doing the same thing. So they're all using the same metrics. They're all looking, for when it's overbought, oversold. They're all looking at Fibonacci levels, 0.618 and all the rest of it. And it's that whole self-fulfilling prophecy. So if everybody's using the same thing, everybody's looking for the same markets, everybody's looking for the same volume, and they're using all these metrics. So therefore, we're all chasing the same. Now, this is why I try to follow the crowds, look for those, because everybody's doing this. So if you know that, then you know where it's going. Then, so we go over here. So I've done a bit of a scatter graph here. So we've got the predicted value of quant by the end of 2024 using the wisdom of crowds. So you can see here there was a total of 60 votes, and as we can see, I added them all up. You can see there, and we've got 60 votes, and the total value came to $48,767 in total. So what we do is we add all those numbers up, divide it by 60, and that will give us the total value, what people think in this selected group will be by the end of 2024. So we're not talking peak bull run, we're talking at the end of this year. I've done that, and we get to a predicted value of $812. If you believe in the wisdom of the crowd, the collective intelligence, people all looking at the same data, you could say, well, it's a bit of an echo chamber, but it's not. Most people go away and do their own due diligence, do their own research, and will come up with their own thoughts with regards to the tech. And I think at the moment, with regards to the CBDC narrative, a lot of people hate it. A lot of people hate anything to do with it because they believe control, everything else, programmable money. They're all against us. That whole conspiracy theorist maybe. But I think once the value of quant and the value is seen, and at some point we just have to accept that CBDCs and that narrative will be there, is happening, and we see the value in quant in other areas, which we see the suite of tools that they're coming up with, the smart audits, we've got authorized, tons coming out. That would give us a market cap by the end of the year of $11.8 billion. Now, let me know what you think. What do you think the price will be at the end of the year? Do you think that it will be more than that, less than that? If so, why don't you go to QRQ Crypto and put your prediction in? Because predictions as a group, I think, can get us close to where we feel the number is. And then it'll give you an option to bail out before everybody else does. That is as simple as that. But that is 2024. We're not talking about 2025 and beyond up to 2030. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video because it's a great insight, the psychology of investing. Remember, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further videos. All the best, and I'll catch you later.